In the previous lecture, we did two important things. The first one, and the most important of the two maybe, is that we protected the master branch, which is going to be very important if we want the master branch to always contain a working version of our application. But in this lecture, we're going to see how that is going to relate to the entire CI/CD process, and how that is all going to be related to pull requests. So the second thing that we also did was to share this repository with a second account. In fact, let me navigate to that second account right now, the one that I have over here in Safari. And from here, what I want to do is that change that I did to the text of the button, send it over to the master branch. Because let's say that this new text in the button is going to make our users click that button more, and that is something that we're looking for. So I want this new very simple feature to be part of the master branch. What we would do is create a pull request. That is essentially going to execute a merge from one branch to another. And we can do that directly from here, from the code tab. There is this new pull request button, or we can navigate over to pull requests and create a new pull request. And the base in this case, as we follow the process, is going to be test. We want everything that is new in dev to be part of test. So we create this new pull request. Optionally, here we're going to be able to add some title, leave a comment, and to the right add some reviewers. We can request someone else in the team to review this commit, maybe assign this pull request in case it ever needs some changes, we can make them, add some labels, assign to certain projects, to certain milestones. These are some additional configurations that you can add. For now, let's just create this pull request as it is. And essentially what this is a request for a merge. Are we going to be approving the merge? Well, in this case, it is not required because this is not the master branch. But in here we can make some more commits that are part of the same pull request. But once we are ready, we can merge this pull request. And you can see how currently this branch has no conflicts with the base branch, in this case the test branch, so we can merge directly. Confirm the merge, and now everything that was new in the dev branch is going to be part of the test branch as well. And we can confirm that by navigating back to code and switching over to the test branch, which in the main page.saml file should contain that new text inside of the button, which it does. It says click me, while the master branch still says click here, which is a tiny difference, but it is there. Now that everything is in the test branch, you can imagine how maybe a team of testers can download the code from this branch, make sure that everything is working correctly, and eventually either let you know or they themselves can create a pull request if they are part of the team that has access to this repository. Let's say that you yourself are the one that can create the pull request once the tests are complete. We're going to create a brand new pull request. This time though, the base is going to be the master, and we're going to be comparing it to the test branch. This is very similar to what we did directly from the terminal in one of the previous lectures. Since we're going to be comparing these two, I can create the pull request. Again, set a title, a comment, assign some reviewers and so on, and create the pull request. But in this case, because the master branch is protected, we cannot merge this yet. It says there are two reasons for this. One is that the review is required. At least one approving review is required by reviewers with write access. And right now, the only reviewer with write access is my original GitHub account. And this is exactly what we said in the previous lecture where we created the rule that protects master branch. And because of this same thing, the merging is blocked. We cannot merge until that one approving review is added. So here we see one of the first ways that GitHub becomes a foundation for CI and CD. But eventually, this can actually be automated. We may still need some human to provide an approving review, but a continuous integration process can tap into GitHub and add a second option in here, or a third option. Maybe that process has to go through some tests, and only if the test pass can the merging be enabled. So it's going to be kind of like a second rule of protection to a certain branch, that the tests may have to pass. For now, the test may be for the original owner to take a look at that pull request and accept it. So let's take a look at what would have to happen. Here on the original account, I of course see this pull request. And it says that the review is required. So I can navigate to this pull request and I can start reviewing this pull request. And you may notice that as an administrator, I could directly merge the pull request, but this is only because you're super powerful as the owner of the GitHub repository. What you should probably do is just navigate over to the files changed, take a look at the changes, say, okay, this is a good change, review the changes, and set that you approve this change. The review could also just be a comment, or even request some changes that may have to happen before you can approve this pull request. Let's say that you are ready to approve. So let's just write a comment in here. Submit the review. And because there is now an approving review, notice that here GitHub allows us to now completely merge the pull request. And this not only happens in this original account, but if we navigate over to the other account, the one that created the pull request, notice that we also have the ability to merge the pull request. I can see that the other account approved the changes, they left a comment. Now GitHub allows us to make that pull request, to merge everything that is new in test into master. In here, by the way, is also where you may find an additional protection, the one that I mentioned that may come from your continuous integration process. Maybe some tests were run, and only if those tests are passed will the merge be enabled. For now, because there is one review that approved these changes, I can merge the pull request, confirm the merge, and now everything that was part first of dev, then of test, is now also part of master. And I can double check that by navigating over to code, switching over to the master branch, navigating over to that main page.saml file, and checking that indeed the button now says click me instead of click here. So this is pull request. Hopefully you start to notice how important pull requests are going to be, because these are going to be the foundation of the entire CI/CD process. It is through pull requests that we are going to be triggering the continuous integration process. It is also through pull requests that, by depending of certain tests to pass, will we be able to protect further a certain branch. And it is even through that protection and eventual merging into a certain branch that we can trigger continuous delivery. So pull requests are really going to be the foundation of the entire CI/CD process. Now, I know that this sounds super important, and maybe currently you don't feel fully comfortable creating pull requests, but don't worry, because we are going to be creating pull requests over and over throughout the entire course. So I assure you that by the end of the course, you're going to be very comfortable creating more and more pull requests. Starting in the next lecture, for example, we're going to go through the entire flow of, let's say, simple CI/CD enabled entirely through GitHub, which is of course going to have pull requests at its core.